Sir Marcio and Going Home. I first heard her play that at the dedication of our World War II memorial at Nickerson Park. Thought it was fitting that we have her start our program with that today. So good morning, I'm Chief Warrant Officer 4, Robert Franz, United States Army, retired. Welcome to the Town of Chatham Public Ceremonies Committee meeting, the Town of Chatham 2021 observance of Veterans Day. We will begin today's observance with the Pledge of Allegiance to our flag. Before we do, I would like to share what President Wilson thought of that flag. The year was 1917. We were in World War I. This flag, which we honor and under which we serve, is the emblem of our unity, our power, our thought and purpose as a nation. It has no other character than that which we give it, from generation to generation. The choices are ours. It floats in majestic silence above the hosts that execute those choices, whether in peace or in war. And yet, though silent, it speaks to us of the past, of the men and women who came before us, and of the records they wrote upon it. Skylar and Leo, two of our scouts here, will lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the
flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Thank you, Skylar and Leo. The war in 1812, a relatively little-known war in America's history, inspired one of the nation's most famous patriotic songs. On September 14, 1814, Francis Scott Key witnessed the 25-hour bombardment of Fort McHenry. By the dawn's early light, Key could just make out that our flag was still there, proudly waving above the fort. The Star-Spangled Banner helped bring about a new prominence for our flag, an expression of national identity, unity, and pride. I know we have some talented singers in our audience today. I've heard you before. Would you please help lead us in the singing of our national anthem, the Star-Spangled Banner? Everyone else, please join in. Whoever wants to please start. All right, I will. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripe and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave. Give yourself a round of applause. From the opening battles of the American Revolution, the members of our military have built upon a tradition of honorable and faithful service. On Veterans Day, our nation pays tribute to the 20 million living veterans who have proudly served in our armed forces. While Memorial Day is a day to remember and honor our military who died in service to our country. Veterans Day is intended to thank her and honor all who honorably served in the military, whether in peacetime or during war. Today is a day to thank living veterans for their service and acknowledge their contributions. These veterans are a collection of individuals among our nation's finest citizens, united by a legacy of service and sacrifice. I've been involved in Chatham's Veterans Day observance since shortly after I retired from the military in 2001. Traditionally, we would hold them at the Veterans Circle, aka the Rotary. In 2015, for the very first time, we implemented the inclement weather plan and moved inside the community center. People liked it so much, we decided to continue that practice. Last year was the first time since I have been involved that we physically didn't meet in person for Veterans Day. This year is the first time that we have held the observance here at the World War I Memorial, or as it was known when it was first dedicated, the World War Memorial. I find this fitting because up until 1954, Veterans Day was known as Armistice Day, a day that marked the end of World War I. World War I, also known as the World War, the Great War, the war to end all wars, took place from 1914 to 1918. During the World War, over 5 million served in our nation's armed forces. A treaty to end the war was signed to come into effect at 11 a.m. on November 11, 1918. Accordingly, this occasion is referred to as the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month, and is why this observance began on this day at this time. General of the Armies John Pershing, commander of the American forces on the Western Front during World War I, said of his soldiers, "Their devotion, their valor, and their sacrifice will live forever in the hearts of their grateful countrymen." The inscription on our World War monument reads, "Erected in honor of the men in Chatham who left their daily tasks among us to serve our country during the World War, 1917-1918, and in honor of those who made the supreme sacrifice. Noble in life, noble in death. May their memory inspire us to be faithful in the line of duty." At the time of this dedication, few could imagine the many conflicts still to come that would put further demands on so many while in the line of duty. Veterans Day is also being commemorated today in other countries, where it is known as Armistice Day, Remembrance Day, and Poppy Day. The poppy, a bright red flower, became a symbol after a World War I battle in Belgium. The soil in the fields was rich with lime, and the poppies thrived, creating a striking contrast between the rows of white crosses and the bright red flowers. Major John McCrae, a Canadian surgeon, was moved by this sight, leading him to write one of the most memorable war poems in Flanders Fields. Would you please come forward? Those of you with a part, you should have a piece of paper readily identified.
In Flanders Fields, the poppies blow, between the crosses, row on row, that mark our place, and in the sky the larks still bravely singing, fly scarce heard.
We are the dead, short days ago. We lived, felt dawn, saw sunset glow. Loved and were loved, and now we lie in Flanders Field.
Take up our quarrel with the foe. To you from failing hands we throw the torch.
Be yours to hold it tight. If you break faith with us who die, we shall not sleep though poppies grow.
Today, as we recall the service of our soldiers, sailors, airmen, Marines, and Coast Guardsmen, we acknowledge those who have served freedom's cause. If you are a veteran, please raise your hand. We salute you. As we salute our nation's veterans, we realize that behind them will come a new generation of veterans. If you are serving in our armed forces or have someone that is close to you that is, would you please raise your hand? We thank you. Always remember, never forget, a special group of veterans, those that are missing in action and unaccounted for. They deserve our best efforts and unwavering commitment to return them home. Always remember, never forget, great achievement has been accompanied by great sacrifice. To secure our freedom, many heroic service members have given their lives. Now they lay at rest at quiet corners of our country and throughout the world. But they live on in the families that love them and in the soul of a nation that is safer for their sacrifice. As our World War I memorial so aptly says, noble in life, noble in death, may their memory inspire us to be faithful in the line of duty. Let us pause now for a moment of silence to remember those who have served their country and who are no longer with us today. While the storm clouds gather far across the sea, let us swear allegiance to a land that's free. Let us all be grateful for a land so fair as we raise our voices in a solemn prayer. God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the nights from the lights from above, from the mountains to the prairies, to the oceans white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home. In closing, I would like to thank Sarah Marcio for participating in our observances for over 10 years. We're not quite sure, but at least 10 years. So thank you, Sarah. I would like to thank our youth for attending today. They are the future tellers of any story. They are helped to learn that story by coming to these observances. And that's how this story and other parts of our history stays alive. We learn the story, we tell the story. So thank you again for attending. And again, I'd like to thank our Coast Guard Auxiliary, our scouts, members of our town government, and you for attending this 2021 Town of Chatham Veterans Day observance. I wish you a great day today and a happy rest of your year. Thank you very much, folks.